I'm doing this artist residency, and today I woke up feeling a little bit lost with my work and with dead ladybugs all over the house, which felt like a bad omen, but maybe it just set me up for a really interesting and inspiring day. I love being alone, but I still have to fend off the cabin fever after weeks and weeks here, so I have my little morning routines, going out to the water. Because it's just me here, plus these two geese that give me shit every time I walk past. But maybe because of all this time alone, I'm becoming obsessed with the company of the color blue, which is what I'm around all day. I mean, how could you not fall in love? I made a cyanometer, which is a totally useless instrument from the 1400s built to measure the blueness of the sky, which is pretty funny. Then I come back to the studio and play around with it a little bit and usually make a sketch that never sees the light of day, but talking about the process here. And to be honest, I had no patience for the process today, so I said fuck it all and I went to get my ears pierced because it was 2 for 1. That nice little treat was really just a way of tricking myself into doing more work because I already was downtown and close to my research site, which is where I'm collecting all my information and inspiration for the project I'm working on right now. So I rented the city bike and I took it out because I could load up all my shit on there with room left to collect rocks and skulls. So I'm going out here to my first 2 sites. The first one is a cormorant nesting site, and I'm interested in this because, as I mentioned earlier, I'm looking at a lot of blues, and these cormorants happen to be collecting a lot of blue plastics to put in their nests. Snake break! So I had to go check up on what was in their nests from last year, what plastics are left behind, and how much of it is blue to back up my personal conspiracy theory. And while these birds are collecting their plastics for this year's nests, I'm collecting what's left over from last year's and a lot of other things that are left along with this. This place is so crazy to me because people don't really go out there, so it's all just left behind. I'm finding skulls littered all over the beach. Every couple feet I find another cormorant skull. Obviously I have to collect them, I just don't know why yet. One of my favorite blue things that the cormorants also pick up is blue $5 bills, if you've seen the Canadian money. I'm about to head over to my favorite beach of all time because this beach looks like a bunch of natural rock, but it's actually entirely rubble. It's city industrial waste that's been worn down with water and time to look like rock, but it's still brick and porcelain and other things. And I emailed a geologist not too long ago and asked her if we could do a study on these rocks, and she said sure, why not? So I went to her lab last month and we took samples of all of these different rocks, and especially the colorful ones, to see what they're made up of and what is leaching out into the water. It just so happened that the blue tiles tend to be the most toxic. And with that, my conspiracy theory starts falling into place, and we're getting the starts of an art project. I'm connecting all these blues. I'm mapping this out using my GPS here because I also have to have some scientific data to back up this claim. But I have to remember that this is an art project first. It started that way and it's going to finish that way. So as it comes together, these are the things I'm thinking about. What first drew me to this place at all is I started finding dead things everywhere. And I started wondering, why are there dead things everywhere? That's what I started looking into, and that's how I found out this land is super toxic. I like how complex this place is because it's sad, but it's also beautiful. This piece of land lets a lot of things live there, but it's also killing them slowly. I went to get dinner and ended up in a thrift store just staring at the blue section. So I ended up with boy dinner in the car and broke too fast, so the chicken rolled up into the windshield. I made it to dance class only 10 minutes late, had an amazing time before going back home to look through everything I collected for the day. I usually don't know why I'm collecting the things I am until later, because at the end of the day, some of these things are going to turn into something more and some just aren't. But I'm trying to remember that the magic of it is in that gray area of playing around and not knowing what you're going to get out of it yet. I ended up doing some scans of the rocks, and I kind of like the direction this is going, so I'm going to see where that takes me. To be continued.